Disappointing afternoon this afternoon. I guess in the first half what could go wrong did go wrong. How did you see the game? What's your feelings afterwards?
How did I see the game? Is started okay. Got a throw in the attacking half there, and our throw on and knocks down, and we get sort of done from that and shape, and suddenly find ourselves stretched and 1-0 down, and then a bit of a decent response, and we work well, get into a corner. Kizzy first contact, knocked down in the box, and we don't lock it again. A bit uncharacteristic of us. Get done on the counter attack and suddenly find ourselves 2-0 down. So yeah, very disappointed with those two goals. And then for me, when Brad's come out there, he hasn't got the ball, but the guy's kicked it out for a goal kick. He's not going to round him and score, and suddenly we're down to 10 men, and that just completely changes the game, obviously. So. We certainly rally and look organised, score a really good goal, really good goal there from Enzio and Rob with his cross. So good play from them two from the left-hand side. Now we worked to get there. And then we talk at half-time on how we want to be organised and in shape, and I was really pleased with it off the ball in terms of I think they've had sort of one chance in open play where I felt they should have scored, but we restricted them to very little chances. But the two goals that we've conceded is from a corner where they've worked the 2v1 because we're a man down around the far post, and Enzio can't do both, and then we find ourselves a goal down in the second half from that. And then a good bit of play, we break and get into the attacking areas, and a little bit of us this season where we just don't quite capitalise on the good position we're in, and then suddenly we're wide open and get done on the counter attack with the bodies that we've been pushing forward, and we find ourselves 4-1 down quite early in the second half, but they stuck together and so good shape and had our moments going forward. An extremely frustrating afternoon. Off the back of last week as well, when you're reflecting of really putting ourselves in the mix for the playoffs with 7 games to go. The disappointing run of 4 games against the top sides for me, but very narrow and very good performances in there and right in the mix of all those 4 games. But the goals we conceded last week, the goals we conceded today are really uncharacteristic. We look a bit leggy, we look a little bit tired, look like I don't know the word is, like the fizz has gone out of us a little bit with us not being able to make the playoffs, and I think that showed, along with, and being honest, with obviously missing key players again today, and certainly Craig Eastman being one of them. But you just look and players, there's a bit of illness going around the camp. There's players this week who have not trained and done half a session yesterday to go out and play because of carrying injuries, and you can't keep doing that, and it certainly showed in our physical attributes today, as well as maybe that's the reasons why these little uncharacteristic goals we're starting to concede in the last 2 games have just crept into our game.
Yeah, you see conceding 8 goals in the last 2 weeks, decides in the sort of bottom 6 of the table. It's not a good look, and that's just players running out of legs a little bit.
Yeah, and I've never been in a situation as a manager before, and it's very difficult when that intensity and drive and that mentality there to try and see you over the line to get into the top 7, and where we've been over the last couple of years, and this 4th year of me and manager in the previous 3, we've always been chasing or got over the line to win the league, obviously 2 years ago. So it's a weird situation to be in, but the lads are, they're an honest group of players. Look how they're still running to the end, and they're still going, and but they are, it looks like, running on empty at the moment, just because they've given so much over such a demanding season for us, of sticking together through the first half of the season, and then the great push and the great run of 21 games on the turn of the year, really. And it just looks like sort of our balloon's been burst, really. Our balloon's just been burst there to see the season out, which is really unfortunate.
First half today, we seemed susceptible quite a lot to one long ball down the middle. Seemed to cause problems more than it has done in the past. Yeah,
it has done. Yeah, they were trying to play out from the back, and we went and pressed high like we do, and then you expect and want to deal with the straight ball. And yeah, as you say, a couple of times some good balls in there, but just didn't deal with that as well as I'd liked.
The circumstances against us, Brad House, in because Jack Rose, you say he's got a slight foot injury, or he's got a foot bad.
He's one of those players. He got injured at Harrogate, which was back in January, and he's hardly trained since. He's just been wheeling out and playing games for us, and he needs to sort this toe injury out, and he's been such a great player for us and had a really good season, and we need to make sure he's right for the start of pre-season. So without having an operation, he needs a hell of a long time resting and not aggravating it. So that was the decision today, to try and give Brad a game and bring Jack and give him that extra rest and recuperation, starting to get him ready for next season.
And the rebound action, if you like, as well as losing Brad, you also had to take Killian off so that you could get Jack on, and that robbed him of sort of 90 minutes you were hoping he'd get today with Omar being ill.
With Omar being ill and Killian starting quite well in the game as well, and then you're forced to make that change. Just a very frustrating afternoon. Very disappointing couple of results for us, back to back with Colchester in terms of the goals. I mean, with Colchester and today, but I'm learning all the time as well, and I'm assessing and learning from every experience, and looking forward to next week at home in front of our home supporters to hopefully get back to winning ways.
Unusual circumstances as well. When we're 4-1 down. They've played 4-4-1 for a long time with Donovan up front. At what state is there a time when you wonder about whether sticking somebody else up alongside Donovan to change the?
Not a 4-1, I don't know.
No.
A 2-1.
Yeah.
2-1 or maybe 3, and you think you can get one and make it. But 4-1, what we don't want to hear is now suddenly it turns 5, 6, 7, and that's definitely what you don't want.
So, looking at a couple of players on the bench today, back on from their loans, just to make needed to get players back to fill up the squad.
Yeah, their seasons, they've gone out and had their loans, and their seasons are finished with their respective clubs, and that's just how light we are at the moment. We've had to put those boys back on the bench for us.
And we've had Adam Lovett at Farnborough and Toby Felahansi at Torquay, and I think it may just be worth explaining that we couldn't recall Toby as part of the loan agreement. That we couldn't recall him if we wanted to.
No, you can only recall on short-term loans or on youth loans, but he was done window to window, so unfortunately, no, we can't.
So just now next week, home to Carlisle, who have lost to Salford today, so I guess they're going to be coming to the game probably needing something to get into the playoffs, which might be a good thing that the other side's got something really to go for, and we've got to make a real effort to make it as difficult for them as possible, and as you say, to finish off in a high spot for the supporters.
Exactly. Again, this has been a great season for us. Second season's always so tough. And for what we've had to face and the adversity we've had to go through, and then the run we went through, and to be comfortably mid-table, and with 7 games to go right in the mix for the playoffs, has been a great season for us. Yes, I don't want this little run we're on now to overshadow that by any means. So the supporters have been absolutely magnificent all season, home and away, and I thank them today for coming up, still in good voice at the end there, and singing in their numbers. So I thank them for today, for all season away from home. And I'm sure, as you say, with Carlisle, something on the game, there'll be a big crowd going to Green Lane on a week Monday. And we really want to go back out desperate for a win. To really thank all our supporters for the continued support they've given us all year.
And over 100 up here today. Obviously, it'd be nice to have celebrated the end of all the away travel with a slightly happier result. But good to see that the players and the supporters still, general mutual appreciation at the end of the game over there.
Of course, because they've got huge respect for we're all in it together, aren't we? So it's certainly, yes, it's a couple of disappointing results, but no, we all stick together, certainly, through little tough times like we have done. So we know what we've got to do. We know what work we've got to do going into next season, and that's already started.
Brilliant. We'll look forward to next Monday and hope we'll finish on a high note. Thanks for coming out.
Brilliant. Cheers.